It's unfortunate because I think their worst series out of this entire regional was against Solary early on in the group stage. They actually played just fine against Vitality going into overtimes and losing that series 3-1, and they took care of a lot of other teams as well, big name teams. And so for Godsmilla's team, like the Death said, it is no laughing matter anymore. These guys are the real deal here in this regional, and they are a hot team.
And Chronic, they were talking a little bit about him on the desk. His first appearance in RLCS at the ripe age of 15, and Freaky, but he's behind the offense for the first go for Godsmilla's team.
Yeah, that's a great second touch from a Chronic to get that one out and draw defenders out so that he can push the ball down the field. And of course, Freaky is going to be at the right spot at the right time. We have always complimented Freaky on being able to do that on both sides of the field. And having a player like a Chronic be that big, high-flying, flashy player only helps players like Freaky. But here's an open net. It's going to be a slow roller, and Godsmilla there to clear it out.
Solary, it could have been a solid option for them, but Freaky just sank another one. And Corelli, for Freaky, this guy's career in the RLCS has always been this. Like, he always puts the ball on target, and he always finds his way to the net. Freaky consistently, somehow, is always the striker on whatever team he is. Even if a Chronic is on the team, it doesn't seem to matter. He's always behind the ball, threatening opportunities, forcing the defense to respect it.
Well, and the shame about that last goal for Solary was they got caught out. Certainly, Chaussette was the last man back, and that ball goes over his head. He had 0 boost when he turned around. He had nothing. He didn't pick up any pads on the way back to his net, and that's what cost him the positioning to get back to that ball. So a quick 2-goal lead opens up for Godsmilla's team in commanding fashion here off the back of Freaky. He's got another long shot, as Chaussette does have the boost to get back to this one. And Solary there to clean it up and try and get out from their own end.
Really got to be careful. Freaky will just launch every ball down the field if he keeps catching third man that close. Chaussette gets another challenge. Solary are able to stabilize and actually get the shot, but it's off the crossbar. Farah will collect some boost for his efforts and even get the challenge as well, but the rest of Solary forced the whole way back, and Chaussette forced to go from the blue half. He is still under the ball, trying to get by Godsmilla, but tough to do. Solary have to retreat. Here comes another transition, but Freaky to a Chronic was way off target.
I think you said it, Joby. You're watching Solary trying to adjust and stabilize very quickly here in the first 2 minutes against Godsmilla's team. And here's a lot of space for Chaussette. See what he does. Cuts one. Got to go through a Chronic, and he sticks the challenge and keeps possession as well and puts him into the middle of the field. So good work defensively for a Chronic. Here comes Freaky. He puts that one just wide of the net. No follow-up from Godsmilla. Solary are able to clear it out.
Another challenge straight back out for Freaky. And a Chronic going to be a little slow to get back to that, but he's able to get around Astral. Farah forced to come out, and Chaussette, well, he was able to delay things for now, but Astral picks up 2 demos. Freaky will buy a little bit of time for Godsmilla's team, but Solary are really struggling to hang on to the ball and also get shots on net. Only 2 compared to Godsmilla's team's 8.
Yeah, and Freaky's got 7 of the 8 shots for Godsmilla's team, as he has just been launching them from half field, and got to give credit to him. It's been working out. He's been putting the defense, the Solary team on defense, but Chaussette to finally get one back for Team Solary here as they're able to clean up a second touch.
Yeah, that one feels good. Farah got a nice hard cut onto that ball. Forced Godsmilla and Freaky both up. They knew they had to be quick on the return because that rebound was coming hard out. And so good on Solary, or Farah on that setup, and then the finish by Chaussette. The Chronic's going to pick it back up, trying to get under Farah, and he will on the challenge, but Solary on defense have certainly gotten things figured out for the most part, although this one's dangerous for Chaussette. Got it off the backboard, and the turnaround follow-up from Astral's good.
Got boost here. A Chronic very dangerous in this position, has a flip reset, and Farah denies that opportunity. A lot of space there for a Chronic to work with, and here it comes again. He's met by Astral, and the setup is almost perfect as it comes down to Godsmilla off the challenge, and a 3-1 lead now to Godsmilla's team.
Yeah, perfect setup. A Chronic just gets in the way of Astral's attempted clear, and Chaussette is still scrambling to get back into position afterwards. Great jump by a Chronic to set up that goal. And Godsmilla's team, Corelli, they came out the gate swinging.
Yeah.
And Solary just haven't been able to get it figured out. They had that one shot off the crossbar earlier in the game, and then that goal. But other than that, there hasn't been much.
Certainly, the game's being played at Godsmilla's team's pace right now, and I think that definitely bodes well for Godsmilla's team as Chaussette wants to put that one off the back wall. Does get it. Ferris still high, and Chaussette off the back wall again. Sneaks it in, and they're just down by 1.
Yeah, a textbook dish from Chaussette and an easy setup from Farah.
Oh, man. Beautiful.
Freaky just stuck on the goal line. Nothing you could do. That's what you want if you're Solary.
I mean, you really don't expect players coming from your post and across the net and angling his car so perfectly, and Chaussette did that to a T, and now here he comes again. Boost to work with and lost control of the ball. He did get freaky on it, but a Chronic there to clean it up, and trying to put it away himself is denied by the Solary defense.
And you can certainly feel it start to flip. Since the last time we mentioned the shot totals, it's only been 2 more shots Godsmilla's team has been able to put out, while you have 4 more from Solary. So they're really starting to slick the wheels, if you will. And Astral, he's got a little bit of space. Hit it wide on Godsmilla, and Farah hits him low. We got a tie game.
And that's a smart shot from Farah. Astral does a lot of work here to get 2 defenders to come out. If Chronic turns around and he's expecting a very quick shot, which it does come on the one time, but instead of going anywhere in the air, Farah rolls it under the defense, and we're tied up.
First half of this game, you might have been thinking Godsmilla's team, they're probably going to run away with game 1. But Solary, good adjustments in the middle of the game to get back to this tied spot near the end of regulation. Godsmilla, hard ball off the backboard, and the follow-up is good from Freaky. Just like that, Godsmilla's team take the lead.
Yeah, great work here from Godsmilla to put this one in just a dangerous spot. And you can see Farah, he was trying to read it off the back wall, but just not quick enough. It's tough to be quick on that challenge. As an attacker, it's much easier for Freaky to come after that ball, as he doesn't have as much pressure and it's not above his head as much. And a good challenge from Freaky into the back of the net, and with 15 seconds left, Godsmilla's team looking to hang on.
Michelle says behind the ball, wants the push, but he didn't get the touch he wanted. This might give one more chance to Farah and Astral, but they need a solid push from this touch. They do move it downfield, and Chaussette gets tackled out of the way. Freaky hops right over Farah. Chaussette keeps the play alive, though. A Chronic gets the kill, but Astral's right there. And it's gonna slow. Freaky will kill the ball, and Godsmilla's team will take game 1.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Godsmilla's team really earned this game 1 win. I think things kind of slipped away for them a little bit there. Solary certainly fought back in great fashion, but it feels like Godsmilla's team, they played an extremely good game here. Freaky finding those gaps as he always does in the opposition, but a Chronic, you see him there at the bottom of the scoreboard, Jorby. We mentioned his name maybe a little bit more in the beginning of the game, but he did a lot of great work off the ball, great challenges in the midfield. We even saw second touches to set up his teammates. He does have 2 assists, but he's crucial. You know, seeing him sitting there at the bottom of the scoreboard is not how he was during this game. He was a crucial asset to this team that certainly showed, or certainly led to the success here in game 1.
Yeah, there were a couple of transitions that he ended up stopping in midfield that may have led to quality opportunities from Solary. I absolutely agree. He also didn't have to do too much on the offense because, I mean, Freaky was just hitting the net. Solary somehow were just too much open space in the first half of that game, and they can't afford to give that kind of ground up early in game 2.
You got to give a lot of credit to Freaky there in that game. He was at the right place at the right time multiple times in that game. And that's what he does so well. We've always complimented him for him. He does it again here in game 1. See if he can do it here in game 2. And for Solary, look, I think it was great for them to be able to fight back into this game. I think they just had a slow start. See if game 2 is really where they start to pick it up, because this has been a pretty good regional for this Solary team. And there's a lot of expectation behind him, as Farah was almost able to beat out a Chronic. Still a dangerous ball here. Solary capitalize as it's a weak clear from Godsmilla. Chronic doesn't get a touch, and neither does Farah. Chaussette still trying to keep it going for Solary as he doesn't get the touch off the back wall, and Freaky will pop it away for Godsmilla's team.
That was a good start. If they can pick up the save, Astral does. Now they got to steal this ball away from Chronic, who pushes forward. Freaky turning back around. Godsmilla's team keeping possession, got the ball away from Farah. Godsmilla just forcing the challenge against Astral. Freaky set up back to a Chronic. Chaussette can't catch it, off the post and in! A Chronic scores!
And I think this is a really interesting goal to watch from a Chronic's POV, because he can see the time and space that he has and the panic in Chaussette's eyes as he comes across. He knows that Chaussette in a bad spot. And putting it back post makes it impossible for Chaussette to make the save. Chaussette was expecting a shot maybe to the far side instead. Great placement from Acronic and a first goal over to Godsmilla's team.
He didn't light up the scoreboard in game 1, but value carries over in game number 2 for Acronic. Godsmilla trying to find that dunk against Astral, but he doesn't need to. Acronic rips one towards the net. Taken away by Chaussette. Not just done. Oh, Freaky couldn't hang on to it. He'll take the midfield boost, but Astral will push the ball in the orange box. Nice stop from Chaussette, forcing the challenge. Gets Acronic. Farah's there quickly, but Astral, he has to work back around as Farah gets towards the box, and there's just no play there for Solary. Excellent defense by Godsmilla's team on that last push.
And you could see there was a couple touches that went in favor of Solary. Farah bouncing off the play and getting back to the ball still. Godsmilla's team able to react. Haven't seen too many dangerous advances from Solary here in this game. They spent some time on the orange side of the pitch, and maybe this is it. Farah couldn't get by Freaky, and some space now for Freaky.
And every time they get to that last man, somehow Godsmilla's team comes up with that challenge to buy time. That's not the only time Solary have had a 2-on-1 situation where all they needed was to win the challenge. And they just haven't been able to. Farah tried to fake him out on that last play, but now they got another breakaway. Here's Astral behind the ball, swinging around the corner under Acronic, and Freaky comes in again to get the clear. Again, good control from Solary. They've been able to hang on to midfield. They need to start turning more of these into quality shot opportunities. Chaussette rips one up, and Astral can't really put the ball in a tough spot. Acronic in the perfect place to take away the play. Chaussette hard against the corner, and again, there's just no room on the back wall to get by Godsmilla's team. Acronic is there again. No rebounds have come Solary's way.
Yeah, and Solary are throwing everything at Godsmilla's team. There's been a couple of great setups. Some good work by Chaussette in the corner to win some challenges and play the ball across the box, but the defense has been so strong, and now the offense from Godsmilla's team coming out as they weren't able to capitalize. Still the ball in a dangerous spot. It's going to come out to Godsmilla, but look at the cut from Astral. No boost to work with. Can he put it on target? He put it too high. And Acronic there to get a couple touches and push it over the net.
And he knew he had to beat Acronic on the play. He was in position to make to attempt to stop. And Acronic, he takes Enforcer and gives Freaky the second goal for Godsmilla's team.
Again, winning a crucial challenge right here, going through Astral, then faking the pass. Look at Chaussette just stop, and he takes him out of the play and lets Freaky come through for the free shot. That was so smart from Acronic to let Freaky come through, fake the pass to the left. It slowed down Chaussette and opens up the net for his teammate. Great play.
Now, again, the defense, to me, the standout aspect of Godsmilla's team in game number 2. Solary have controlled the ball for the majority of this game, and they only have 5 shots to show for it. They've only matched the output of Godsmilla's team. And look at that again, the challenge just kills the ball, and there's no room for Solary. Astral tries to catch it, but Acronic somehow just comes away with the ball on the challenge. The approach is better. The positioning is also a little bit better from Godsmilla's team. A little bit of time, and Chaussette can't quite grab a handle onto the ball. Freaky takes it, and it's by the whole team. Acronic off the post.
No, looking at his POV, I'm on his camera, and he didn't check where that last defender was. He heard them. He could hear the defender, so he tried to take the shot himself. Unfortunately, hit the post. It was a smart play from him in the end, just looking at what he knew from his POV. And with 20 seconds left, Godsmilla's team still has that cushion. Solary can't make any magic happen here.
Now Solary, this must feel like a dead ball game. Look at that, Acronic almost got the goal right there. And Godsmilla's team gonna take a 2-0 lead in the series. But, I mean, Solary can't even buy a win on the challenge in the orange half. They couldn't grab a rebound, they couldn't grab the ball, they couldn't control boost, they could control midfield, but that's where their control died. Godsmilla's team, excellent defense in game 2.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing to think about, because when you say Solary were able to control the midfield, I think that's true so long as they weren't challenged by a Godsmilla's player. When Solary were able to keep the ball away with either passing or individual plays away from Godsmilla's team's players, that's where Solary really got that control. But the second a challenge went through for Godsmilla's team, whether it was a Chronic, whether it was Freaky, it felt like they were able to win that challenge the majority of the time, especially at Chronic. I don't think I saw him lose a challenge in this particular game. And the challenge game is, I think, really where Godsmilla's team shined to buy themselves that extra time, that extra space, that second chance on offense, or maybe it's their first chance to break out from their own end. That's where I think Godsmilla's team is winning this series right now.
I mean, Freaky too on defense. Like, it wasn't just a Chronic, but Freaky would come and whip back in the rotation and just snuff a challenge out and somehow win it and then kill any momentum Solary had built. So the momentum feels very fickle for Solary, even when they do start winning some of those contests in their own half. Their transition game is lacking right now. Godsmilla's team just owning them in that respect, and they're gonna need something to hit a bit different, because right now, whatever they've tried has not worked. A demo might open some things up. Farah, Freaky just gets right on top of it. Again, the challenge, it just kills the ball, and Godsmilla's team are always ready for it.
And Solary, they've been able to win challenges in the offensive corner. Shotset has been doing some great work there to find the mark and put the ball across the net. But again, you have to give credit to the defense of Godsmilla's team. They've been able to hang on a couple of good attempts from Solary. Shots that just didn't fall for them, or defenders that got in the way. And that defense from Godsmilla's team is certainly what's keeping them in the game as much as the offense right now.
Now Freaky got right up in the face of Shotset, but Astral caught the team out, and he'll pick up a long goal, first goal for Solary.
Yeah, just like Freaky did in the first game, just catching out the back two players. Godsmilla and the Chronic were pretty much next to each other, or at least in line with each other over the midfield line, and Astral sees that gap over their heads and puts it in, and that's a great vision from Astral to see that and just bang it on target. You never know what you're going to get. This series has already given 2 goals like that, and one apiece for each team now.
Freaky, a quick pass over to a Chronic, but Farah was ready for it. Godsmilla's team, very apt to just punt the ball down the center of the field, and it's given them opportunities. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Shotset forces a challenge up for Astral, but Freaky wins the next one. Shotset kicks around, he got bumped, and Godsmilla gets the push. And this is gonna turn right back into Godsmilla's team's favor. Chronic just missing the ball, ran out of boost. It's more of a fight in midfield for possession. Solary have been able to throw a couple of opportunities Godsmilla's team's way. And Astral trying to keep this one close. Gets over a Chronic. Can't quite get back down to it, but Shotset gives it back. And it's a loose ball in front of the box. Farah kills it in front in a Chronic. Got the ball back out to the corner. Somehow, Godsmilla's team get out of a tight one.
Yeah, and a little bit of magic coming out from Astral there individually on the air dribble, and here he is again, just jumping and diving over players, making a Chronic jump, but still, a Chronic just wins the challenge.
How?
It's still in possession of Solary, and maybe an opportunity here for Shotset as he doesn't connect. Another opportunity that at least was a half chance, as Astral, another hard challenge. He has been working in the trenches for Solary to make something happen. I've been watching him rotating through the Godsmilla's team defense, trying to push players out of the way, trying to find the bump or a demo, picking the ball up when he's got full boost. He's even taking it away from his own teammates. That's how determined he is to pick this ball up and go on some sort of individual effort, or at least find his teammates downfield. Here's a pass over to Farah now. Can he give it back? And it doesn't connect. And Solary, their offense will fizzle out.
Shotset able to get that touch out to the corner, and a nice job by Astral. But again, can't grab that challenge from Freaky. This is a good challenge from Shotset. No boost though, and wins one challenge. Coming forward is Farah, and he's got an open net. Solary take a 2-goal lead.
Well, hey, we've been talking about the challenge game going in favor of Godsmilla's team. Look at this challenge. No boost from Shotset, and that's a goal-scoring challenge right there. Goes straight over to Farah, and Solary wins a huge challenge there finally. Lets them go up by 2.
Godsmilla's team dead on offense. Only one shot on net in 3 minutes. A Chronic can't quite get around Shotset, and that ball rolls right by. Farah gets the save. Solary, there's still a lot of time to chew off this clock. They cannot let their foot off the gas. and give Godsmilla's team any of those easier chances that they had let up earlier in the match. Godsmilla's team trying to push forward right now.
I think Solary have just let Astral off the chain here a little bit in this series, and I think it's paid off for them. The game has gotten a little bit more in favor of Solary, at least in the control, and it feels like when Astral is able to kind of do his thing on or off the ball, Farah and Chaussette fall in line. That's a great shot from Farah. It goes high as Astral and the Chronic trade demos. Still, Chaussette trying to keep the attack on for Solary, and Godsmilla's team do get it away.
And solid on the rotation anchor. Astral trying to get behind that challenge. Now quick turnaround. Freaky's behind it. Over Chaussette and into the net. Godsmilla's team has a chance.
Really tough spot here from Chaussette. He has boost, but this ball just outpaces him, and he tries to flip as hard as he can to cut off Freaky, but as soon as he lands, basically in the middle of his flip, Freaky pops it up and over him, and as he lands, there's really no way that he can adjust to the pop in time. So great heads-up play from Freaky to understand that Chaussette really couldn't get to that pop. And now here comes a Chronic. Maybe a late equalizer. A second touch is turned away by Astral.
Godsmilla back over to Freaky, and the shot denied before it could even happen. And a massive clear from Solary. A Chronic wants to move quickly, but Farah is all over him. Godsmilla stuffed on the challenge. Freaky able to shovel it out. Astral misses the ball. Chaussette forced to turn his tail and wait for Freaky. How is he going to approach it? Wins one challenge, but a Chronic's right behind him. Astral gets the massive clear, forcing Godsmilla back. Gets the touch off the backboard. Freaky can't get there in time. Godsmilla gets it back out to the right side. Now it's all up to a Chronic again at the end of regulation. He gets the pass to Godsmilla, and it's denied! An own goal! What? Astral puts it in his own net! We have a tie game!
Look at this challenge from a Chronic with the zero boost to put it off the wall. Godsmilla's there, and Astral try as he might. He puts it off his own crossbar, taps it in himself. Godsmilla's team ties it up with 6 seconds.
Oh, and that was so close from Astral, too. It looked like it might have bounced out from the crossbar, but instead right back into his bumper. It's not quite over, though. Solary have given themselves a chance at 0 seconds. Astral can't get there. We're in OT.
Wow, what a way to stay in this game for Godsmilla's team. Now, off the kickoff, Solary trying to make this game end as Astral can't keep control of it. Freaky now looking for options, gets Farah to stop. A great challenge from Farah, and a second one as 2 gone for Godsmilla's team, but a big clear from a Chronic will at least allow them to come back for the moment. Freaky wants to play it downfield, and Solary there to stop them.
Picked up by Farah downfield. Chaussette following him close behind. He's able to kick the ball back out to the left. Can't find the next challenge, but this is still Solary's ball. Astral kills it again in midfield. And there's going to be more setup time for Farah. He gets over Freaky around Godsmilla. A Chronic backflips, and Astral has a chance to throw it back in front of the box. But Godsmilla's team, not to be trifled with easily on defense, they get another clear towards midfield. They're in a little bit of trouble unless they can really get it back to the blue half. Oh, a dangerous one.
Yeah, scary from Godsmilla. Still, they are able to keep that one away. Astral. Solary, it feels like, have moved up their lines and have locked in Godsmilla's team a little bit more. They've just seen some clears come out from Godsmilla down to the other side, but that's about it. Solary have done a good job of keeping possession. Now Astral gives it over to Chaussette, pops this one up towards the net, and no follow-up from Solary as Godsmilla team back on their own defensive side.
You don't want to get overzealous if you're Solary. You don't want to give Freaky a look at your net when you're caught too far forward as third man. Solary have gotten burned a few times. Godsmilla takes a shot. Chaussette saves it against his post and gets the challenge against a Chronic. That forces Freaky the whole way back.
That one almost pinched in, and for a Chronic, no boost, has to win the challenge. At least keeps it in the corner. Astral wants to play it across, and opportunity here for Chaussette as it's turned away by Freaky.
Touch here by a Chronic just to keep it away from Solary. They have been managing on defense, and that's putting it probably at its best. Freaky cuts it across and is able to stay behind the ball. Farah, the ball's behind him now. Might give Freaky a chance. Astral made it a little awkward for him, but a Chronic picks up the pieces. Now Godsmilla's next. Gets right ahead of the ball. Farah trying everything he can in this corner to get the ball out. Freaky kicks it high. Forces Astral up, who is managing on boost. He's got nothing in the tank now. Necrotic sends it towards the box. Shot on target. Freaky is in, and Godsmilla's team take another victory.
What a win for Godsmilla's team to fight back into this game. Look at the pass from Necrotic. There's just no way Farah can get to it. It's wonderfully laid out for Freaky to come through and take the shot. And Godsmilla's team up 3-0 in the series.
Do you call a timeout if you're Solary? Oh, I just heard it. Solary
Yes,
did call a timeout. All right. Yeah, I was about to say, you go down 0-3 like that was probably the best look you've had in any game so far.
Yeah.
And to not come away with the win, you have to take an extra minute to, reassess, just to take a breather and try to reset the mental game, because Godsmilla's team are all over them, Corelli. I mean, defense and offense, they're just so threatening on the transition every time.
Yeah, and with these being new, I think there are probably a lot of philosophies out there right now about how you would take these tactical timeouts. But I think for Solary, in the context of this series, in the context of that last game, that was a pretty painful way to lose. So if anything, taking the breather to just relax, you could see Farah there talking to the boys. I haven't seen Astral or Shawset say anything at the moment. It's just been Farah talking, and I think that's important for any team in a timeout situation like this, where Solary just lost a pretty painful game, in a game where they played extremely well. I mean, Godsmilla's team's a tough team to beat at the moment, and I think Solary looked really strong in this last game. It was just taken away from, the rug was pulled out from under them. And for Solary, taking the full extent of this timeout, I think means a lot for them to kind of reassess and reset going into this series and what could be the final game.
I mean, even despite Solary looking a lot better, Corelli, I still feel like, while they won more challenges, they didn't get looks like that, where they got dangerous balls in the middle of the field. Godsmilla's team just were able to force the ball to the corners so often on defense. Like, how often did we see Farah just trying to get the ball back towards the box because it was just constantly sent back over to the corners? And it's so much more difficult to be creative on offense when you always have to play into the corner. You don't create your best opportunities most of the time that way, but Godsmilla's team just kept forcing Solary into those options, and that offense is just difficult to keep going.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, like you're saying, it is credit to Godsmilla's team and the play style they have, especially on defense. They just kind of keep the ball. They got like shields around the box. You can't get into that box. You can't play it across the box. Everything's funneled out to the sides. And it's very tough. Yeah, it's very tough for Solary to have a clean opportunity. Like you're saying, how many times has Solary have a clean shot on net uncontested? Didn't come very often in any of these games. So for Solary, they come out of this timeout. Let's see what they bring us.
See if it can be what flips the switch. Necrotic will just take you off the pitch, and Astral gets the next challenge forward. Shawset forced against the back wall. And a hard clear, but they're going to need a little more than that. Freaky in front, denied by Farah. Necrotic forced back.
And if anything, a timeout just stops maybe any momentum that the other team is feeling, right? And using that time to really cool off the other team. And maybe that's all Solary needs. Maybe they feel like they could play the more consistent game, as Necrotic trying to find Freaky on the way out. It is met by Astral. Farah on the challenge here. Shawset's waiting in the middle of the field. Farah could drop it off here, and he doesn't get the touch. Godsmilla there to push it out to the corner.
Yeah, Farah ran out of boost on the play. Tough to get the power you want behind it to feed it to Shawset. But still, this is a good opening. This is what we saw last time. Godsmilla got shaded, and Shawset brought him down.
I was about to compliment Godsmilla. I thought I don't even know if he saw Farah coming. He didn't jump or anything. Farah thought he was going to jump, so he tried to bump him out of the way. And maybe that's what slowed down the reaction for Godsmilla. But Shawset able to put it away, and a great start for Solary here.
And another win on the kickoff, too. That gives Astral the boost on the orange. A pass to Shawset, Necrotic, and Freaky, both committing. This is not a comfortable position on defense for Godsmilla's team, but can Solary take advantage? Farah pushed it, but Astral was blocked. Shawset on the left side will keep it close. He had the read, but couldn't make contact. Farah, first touch for him. Trying to push forward, does get the challenge, and Solary, aggressive start to game 4.
Absolutely, and the start they need if they're going to come back into this series. Godsmilla's team haven't had any time to think about what's happening. It's just been a constant attack. The ball being switched from left to right, right to left, and here comes Farah again. Now that's 2 gone. for Solary, and a Chronic and Freaky trying to march downfield here, and great play from Shawset to slow things down. Godsmilla's team opportunity. Godsmilla left side shot. Shawset, big save. A Chronic tried to keep it alive, but a big challenge from Farah. Maybe sets up Astral downfield as Freaky gets back.
Oh man, you thought that one was going in, but somehow Shawset snuck away with the save. A Chronic, he can't find his way around Astral, and Solary playing with new energy. Shawset in front of the backboard. Freaky grabs it off of him, but Farah has the challenge, and it's behind Astral, and he has to turn and actually just gets the win against a Chronic, but Freaky rips it against the back wall. Astral gets in front of it again. Godsmilla quick on the read in the corner. Can he get a pass to a Chronic? He can, but Astral's waiting for it, and now he needs to get that next clear. Godsmilla's team stunted on offense by Solary's defense. Chronic by Shawset. One to beat. Double right into Astral. And Godsmilla just leaves. He had a chance to take boost, but Freaky ends up losing the ball, and now Solary get the ball.
And that might be, a consequence of the pace of play set by Solary right now. Players from Godsmilla's team feel like they have to get back now. Shawset has a free shot. Godsmilla was out of position. He couldn't get back. And a 2-0 lead now for Solary.
Now Godsmilla coming off the back wall and jumps just a little early. He still had momentum going on the left side, so any boost that he utilized to get to the right was only to stabilize. He just didn't have the momentum, and it was just a poor spot for him to be caught in to try to make that save at all. Big win for Solary. The big thing next, Corelli, for these next 2 minutes, they have to retain this lead.
Yeah, it's certainly important. And that one's coming off the crossbar, very close from Shawset. He's been left on the goal line many times, and he can't get the clear here. As soon as you bring it up, Dorby, Godsmilla's team gets there first.
And it's Godsmilla creating all the value. Shawset forced to make up for the demo that Godsmilla created, so he's in a rush, misses the ball, and it's a freebie for Godsmilla, and here they are, back again in the back half of game number 4, threatening to tie it up.
Goal lead might not be enough to take down this Godsmilla's team. Solary need to hang on to keep this series alive, and they're certainly showing like they will. Chronic, though, wanted to dish that one off. Freaky and Godsmilla both back behind the halfway point. Godsmilla trying to navigate. He does get by 2. It's a 1v1 against Shawset. Has the main dash caught. Oh, he's going to do it to him, up and over. A Chronic's there. Can he put it away? He can. And a tie game with 1:23 left.
It doesn't matter if Godsmilla can't get this so long as the ball is primed for a Chronic to punch it in. It didn't take long for Godsmilla's team to march right back into the game. And we're all tied up. Not a lot of time left, but this has been an exciting match. Despite it being 3-0 at this point, the matches or the games have been close, and Godsmilla's team have had a couple of comebacks now in the middle of the game. Solary, can they take the lead back though? Farah can't hang on to it. Astral the whole way back as third man gets a hard clear. Play a little bit of boomer ball. And now taking position, Godsmilla's team. Freaky lets it go, he ran out of boost. A Chronic, light shot taken away by Shawset. And now Godsmilla, last man back, demoed on the play. Shawset got him, but Freaky can take care of business, and a Chronic will follow it up cleanly. Oh, a Chronic still has the ball. Transition here, Freaky got an open ball. A Chronic almost got the bump, but Astral came across to get the save.
He at least got the jump from Farah, and Astral was there to bail him out. I don't know if Farah would have made that save regardless. All of a sudden, Godsmilla's team playing with some urgency here off the back wall. Chronic's there, can he put it up and over? He does to set up one more time, but no one there. Godsmilla had to go back and get boost. Very scary situation. Those went over the Chronic. Oh, it's gonna go! What a pass from Freaky!
What is this? Starts with Godsmilla, 1. Freaky, a hard 2, and a Chronic is in the perfect spot and acts capital punishment on Solary to take the lead late. Wow!
And the worst part about that for Solary is Freaky's touch came off of a Solary player, and that's what gave it the speed to get over to a Chronic.
Godsmilla's team are about to do it if they can hang on to it for 5 more seconds and get this ball on the ground. Astral gets the bounce, under a second left, has the flick, Shawset can't find the bump, and Farah, tough spot, but he grabs one touch. Shawset grabs the second one. Now, has the pass, Astral's in front, the shot, it's denied, and Godsmilla's team move on!
Wow, what a series from Godsmilla's team. Not only to come back in these games, but also to have the control right off the bat. We talked about it. We said it yesterday. You can't take this team lightly. We said that they would have the opportunity to redeem themselves against Solary, who, by the way, Godsmilla's team was swept by them earlier in the group stage. They only put up 1 goal. Now they come out and 4-0 them in a best of 7. A huge statement for Godsmilla's team moving on.
I have to say, man, I was so impressed. Every player on Godsmilla's team had an impact, and you know it's team Achronic, team Freaky, team Godsmilla, team Godsmilla, right? It's just throw them all in there somehow. We'll workshop the name. For now, we got another match to do. Guild versus Team Vitality. We'll have that one after the break.